Okay, it's May. I'm a believer in science, and science tells me that it is not spring until two things happen. One is that there is snow at an Indians game, and two is that I get a facial sunburn. And both of those things have happened, so yay, spring is here. You're welcome. Couple of things going on. One, the big one is we have a new website. If you go to simplex-it.com, you will see a brand new 100% ground up redesigned website that is probably has about 10% of the content that our old site does. And we're following very strongly the story brand concept. And I particularly ask, I would love to get some feedback. And thanks to Patty Smirk, Sales and Marketing Director, and her team for putting this together. I like it. If you look under services, you'll see both our managed services and our co-managed services, or COMETs, for organizations where we want to partner with the internal IT. And those of you who know me, I've written books on co-managed. I've done a lot of speaking, but one of the challenges has always been, how do you have the conversation of both managed services, where we are the entirety of the internal IT department, and co-manage, where we partner with them? How do you have both of those conversations without kind of tripping over each other? And I think the story brand concept, which we're really buying into hook, line, and sinker over the past 6, 8 months, really allows us to do that effectively. But I'd love to get some feedback from you. So let me know what you think. Take a look. There's still some pieces, parts under that which are still under development, but that'll be coming over the next month or so. Now, next, we also have a LinkedIn webinar, because those of you know, we do a ton of stuff on LinkedIn. We are constantly, every business day, we are posting a new video. We now have two series. Every Thursday, we post essentially what we call MSP Proof Your Job, that's aimed at internal IT people and ways that they can increase their value to their organization, their bosses, if you will, and therefore make it harder for MSPs to take over their job. We also just started CEOs and IT, a love affair in the making. I don't know if we're going to keep that title or not, but essentially every Tuesday now, the video is going to be aimed at CEOs who need to step up their game to increase the value that IT drives for their business. Because I think historically, often seen that there's a disconnect, because CEOs view IT as a necessary expense. So we're going to have those two things every Tuesday and every Thursday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the usual gibberish. Now, the reason I bring that up is because on May 20th, from 1 to 2, we're going to have a webinar that we're going to just talk about what we do on LinkedIn. It's not a sales pitch, because we don't sell services aimed at developing a LinkedIn message for organizations. So what we'd like to do, though, is we want to share with you our experience, what works with LinkedIn, what doesn't work with LinkedIn, for any organization that is looking to just get better at LinkedIn and start using that more effectively and more efficiently. This webinar, I think, is going to be for you. May 20th, 1 to 2 p.m. There'll be a link in the comments. And then June, to give you a little heads up, June will be our webinar we're going to talk about Teams. But we're going to talk about Teams not on the technical side, Microsoft Teams, part of Microsoft 365, but we're going to talk about ways you can use it to increase your organization's productivity. We're going to talk about some of the collaborative strategies. We're going to talk about how we use what we call learn-in-ours. We're going to talk about how to engage with people outside of your organization. We're going to talk about specific ways that Simplex-IT uses Teams to increase and develop our productivity. That's going to be on June 22nd from 1 to 2. Now, both of those webinars, they're free, and both of those are going to be what we call our 30 by 30s. A 30 by 30 webinar is essentially where we do 30 minutes of presentation, asking questions during the way, but 30 minutes of presentation, followed by we open up the panels, open up the mics, and everybody gets a chance. So it is then 30 minutes of collaborative discussion amongst ourselves. So not a ask us questions, we'll give you answers, but where we can all talk, because everybody has experience and some people know stuff that we don't. Amazing as that sounds. So both of those are going to be pretty cool. Both of them will be 30 by 30, May 20th for LinkedIn, June 22nd for Teams, and July. We don't have a date yet and don't have exactly the topic, but if it's what I think it's going to be, it is going to be a really interesting take on cybersecurity that I think is going to be both hilarious and really, really educational. We'll see how that goes. On a side note, personal note, next week actually, I'm traveling again, and so is my lovely wife Julie. So we're both going to be going down to Florida for our first out of state travel in, well, since the pandemic started. The odd thing is, we're not going to the same place in Florida. Apparently, social distancing. But anyway, so I'm going to be going to a conference, and Julie is going to be going with her mother to go visit some places where they've got some great family memories. So to all of you who have been suggesting that Julie maintains significant social distancing from me, congratulations, she finally got the message. So, but I both look forward to traveling, and I'm also curious as to how that's going to end up being. I'll let you know. A couple other things going on. PAX 8 is one of our most important partners in that we do a lot of work with them for the Microsoft 365, Azure, some of the other licensing and tools. They started, and they did this last year, they do a traveling roadshow, which is literally a huge mobile home that has about half a dozen or so vendors who work with MSPs primarily, and they visit city to city and town to town, socially responsible, all of that good fun stuff. And it's an MSP only. So this is particularly for those of you who are managed service providers in Northeast Ohio. On May 24th, I believe it's from 4 to 6 p.m. Again, in the links, I'll put a link to this. There's going to be a free event here at Simplex-IT in Stowe, Ohio. There'll be some food, some entertainment, fun, proper social distancing, and just a chance to basically get together and have a good time responsibly. So no cost on this. Again, there'll be a link in the comments. And then finally, you may have seen my video where I showed that we've got this snack bar, whatever you want to call it, that's in the hallway here at Simplex IT. So whenever people who do deliveries, if they want a snack, they can go ahead and take snacks. That has been ridiculously popular, although there's also a lot of the tenants here. Morgan, a lot of tenants who are taking advantage of it as well, which is absolutely fine. Well, Kylie, because she cares about people a lot more than I do, she's also doing a fundraiser now for OpenM. For OpenM's food bank, it does a ton more stuff. We're big supporters of them, and we did a big fundraiser last year, and we'll probably do some stuff this year as well. Well, my granddaughter's beating me to it. She's doing a fundraiser, so there's a link in the comments as well. I appreciate your support on that, because she's my granddaughter, so she needs all the support she can get. Anywho, that's pretty much what's going on, with one major exception that I left off till the end. We are hiring. We are looking to bring on a sales executive here at Simplex IT that is really going to be taking advantage of our complete new marketing structure and our complete new web and all of that, which is more on the story brand. If you would like to get involved with what I'd like to say is a very successful managed service provider, us, Simplex IT, and really help push this whole program forward. Again, we'll put a link in here as far as to the site where you can submit your resume, or if you know somebody, let them know about this as well. This is, I think, a great opportunity to work with some really good people and me, so there's a downside. So, anywho. And with that, I am done. Have fun.